The Morning Show from your local news leader.
Everyone to the Morning Show. It is time for our Meet the Mayor segment as the village of St. Joseph just celebrated its 150th anniversary.
That's right. So joining on this week's Meet the Mayor is St. Joe Mayor Tami Fruhling-Voges. Now, you have been in your role, Mayor, for 5 years now, but you're no stranger to that community. You graduated from St. Joseph Ogden High School. So how have you seen the village change over time?
It's actually changed quite a bit. I remember as a kid, it was a relatively small community with, oh gosh, I remember reading the sign, it's like maybe 700-800 people at that point, and now you go past as you come into our community and the sign says 4,000 people. It's like, wow, we've really grown. But
Yes.
just even since high school, a lot of the subdivisions and things that have grown to the east used to be when you would be heading out of St. Joe to the east, it was cornfields and bean fields, and you would get to Glover Bridge, and now the village goes all the way to Glover Bridge. So even people who graduated with me will come back home and say, if they've not been home for a while, will say, oh my gosh, that used to be all country. Right. So we've grown a lot, and our business district has grown, and so anyways, all good. So.
Well, and of course we have to say congratulations to your community on 150 long years. And so,
yes,
as we were not there at that celebration, hopefully the confetti is still being picked up. Tell us how that celebration
confetti
went.
And lots of candy.
Yes.
So, yeah, St. Joe has been around actually, probably if you really counted all the years, probably a little past 150 years. But as far as being officially established, St. Joe started actually about 1.5 miles south of where we currently are on Homer Lake Road. That was where the old St. Joe was, and I had sent a picture, maybe it'll come up later, but of the old Kelly's Tavern. And so that was maybe, yeah, there we go.
Oh, wow.
It originally that was along Homer Lake Road by the Salt Fork, and of course, due to transportation, there was a ferry that would go across the river. But St. Joe originally had a blacksmith shop and the tavern, a post office, and several dwellings out there. And the story goes that Mr. Joseph Kelly, who was the owner of the tavern, had they said a jolly good time with a stranger who actually was a very prominent politician from Washington, D.C., and because Mr. Kelly would not take any payment for that jolly good time of his stay, he sent back his thankfulness for staying there. They named the post office after Mr. Kelly, so it became St. Joseph. And apparently he had needed the post office while he was there, so decided it was an important thing for the village. So that's kind of how the name came about. Also, there's a historical marker out there because Abraham Lincoln would travel the circuit when he was traveled with a judge. So we have a historical marker out there at Homer Lake Road. But when the train came in 1866, the town basically picked up and moved where we currently are. So, and that was, like I said, the train came 1866, and then the village started in 1870, where they started having businesses I believe they started on the west side, and by 1871 had spread to the east side, and officially the village became organized and had their very first election in February 25th of 1882, I think it was 81. So anyway, I was always really curious how our centennial was in 1972 because some of the dates kind of bounce around there. But anyway, we celebrated 150 years, and it was a fabulous weekend.
Yeah.
And we had the weather was perfect, but we had lots and lots of people. I think everybody had a great time. The parade was fabulous. Our parades in St. Joe are always great, whether it's celebrating 150 years or not. But we start out at the middle school, and I really believe that this year's, I was the front part of the parade with our little prince and princess. And by the time we got over to the high school, I think they were still had a long enough parade that they were just leaving the middle school, which was on the other side of town. But anyway, it was a long parade. People had lots of fun, as you know, lots of candy that was thrown from the parade. But overall, I said we had fabulous fireworks display at the end of Saturday night. But anyway, it was a nice time.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on the morning show with us this morning, Mayor. It was great to have you.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
So congratulations to you and St. Joseph
Oh,
again.
well, thank you.
Absolutely.